Easter 1916. Ireland rose against centuries of British rule, a blaze of defiance that echoes as heroism. But beneath the anthems of liberty, a darker truth festers. A truth of hatred, of betrayal, of blood spilled not for freedom, but for vengeance. This is the story, the songs the Irish don't dare sing. Irish Catholics targeting Protestants, driven by ancient grudges. Rebels siding with Germany, a world's wartime foe. A rebellion not just against an empire, but against neighbours, marked as enemies by faith and blood. When the Rising erupted, Dublin's streets became a crucible of chaos. Irish Catholics, inflamed by centuries of resentment, turned on Protestants, English or Irish-born, seen as loyalists, as outsiders. Shops were ransacked, their owners beaten, their wares stolen. In Ringsend, a Protestant family cowered as their home was torched, the mob chanting hateful, violent slurs. In the Liberties, a baker was dragged from his shop, killed mercilessly in the street for his faith, his loyalty. Presumed. These weren't isolated acts. They were a tide of bigotry, washing over and away any noble aims the Rising may have had. And then there was Germany. The rebels sought aid from Britain's enemy, a desperate pact sealed by the odds-doomed voyage. 20,000 rifles, 1 million bullets meant for Irish hands funded by the Kaiser. To Britain this was treason, a cowardly stab in the back amidst war's slaughter. Siding with Germany cost the rebels any sympathy they may have hoped to build. While Irish soldiers died in Flanders, their brothers courted the very same enemy. It painted the Rising not as liberation, but as the worst of betrayals, alienating moderates who might have rallied to the cause. The sectarian toll was heavier still. Over 250 civilians died, many Protestant, caught in crossfire or targeted outright. A grocer shot for refusing to close his shop. A widow beaten for her English accent. These stories, buried in archives, claw at the Rising's myth of unity. We've lifted half the veil on this brutal past. If these shadows stir you, please subscribe. Join us as we uncover more of history's silent scars. The Easter Rising lit Ireland's path to freedom, but its flames burned unevenly. Sectarian hatred and a German alliance left wounds deeper than any bullet. They fractured a nation before it could stand, costing decades of international relations and even more in basic trust. History hides these truths to polish its heroes, but the dead deserve their voice. The Rising was no simple tale of good against evil. It was human, flawed, and soaked in blood. Thank you for facing this shadowed history with us. The past is a mirror, not a monument. If this story touched you, share it, subscribe. Let's keep its truths alive together. For those who seek the whole story,